Well, back again, and we're gonna start making some more tamales. I just finished making a batch of the sweet tamales from my last video recipe that I was sharing with you. And usually what I do after I make these tamales is I just store them in a plastic bag. Of course, I'll know that they're sweet, and I stick them in the refrigerator, or the freezer until I get ready to use them, and it works out really well. You can mark them, put the date on them. You don't want to keep them too long in the refrigerator. Maybe make them the next day or freeze them. So that should fit. You get as many as you can in a plastic. And of course, I recycle my bags. In the professional industry, you're not going to do that. You're not going to recycle your bags because it's just not cool for sanitation purposes. But because I'm in my home and I hate wasting, so I'm going to mark these sweet. Today's date, 12/20, and stick them in the refrigerator or the freezer. Probably put them in the freezer. Put a batch in the freezer, and then what I'll do is probably most likely, let's see, sweet. And then put the date, and you know, it's how you want to mark them. Make sure you put the date in them, on them, excuse me. Just a little poop, but trying to get there. You know, making tamales is very tedious, but it can be fun, and you can make a tamale party, like I have said before. And so get all those in there. And then these I'm going to just keep in the refrigerator. So when I get ready to give them out for gifts, all I have to do is steam them. And I just put them in a steamer. And they only, if they're in the refrigerator, only take like about 40 minutes to steam. 40, no more than 50 minutes. And if they're frozen, you want to give it, you know, about a good hour and a half to 2 hours. And depending on how many tamales you put in a pot. So, I'm going to put these in the refrigerator. So, I'm hoping to send those off with some people, some of my friends. I'm going to wash my hands, and we're going to get started on another specialty tamale. Anyways, but I know everybody had a Thanksgiving turkey, and you probably had a stock. You made a stock after you made the turkey. And then you probably saved the juices from the turkey. I'm sure you put it in the freezer after you properly cooled it down. And you put it in the freezer and you thought, well, I could make a gravy out of this, right? Because we don't want to throw all those good juices down the drain. No, you don't ever want to do that. So you save it, and then you thaw it out, and which is what I have done, and I'm going to make turkey tamales. And I'm going to use that same, the liquids and the juices from the meat, from the turkey, roasted turkey, and I'm going to be putting it in my masa. I mean, good Lord. I mean, there are so many ways of being creative when you're cooking and with flavor. And that's the thing I love about Hispanic food. It has more of a warm, you have more of a warm style of cooking, and it's just delicious. Now this is a organic shortening that I found, and I'm so happy that I found it. It's a little bit more pricier, and it smells like shortening. It doesn't smell like that processed shortening that you get in the store. So I'm going to put that aside. And as you've seen, I just took some out, and I probably got about 3 cups in there. I would say about 3 cups. So I'm going to let that heat up, but I don't want it too hot. And then what I want to do is wash my hands in between here. I found these at the dollar store. And I know some of you probably got get your canned Anaheim peppers where you can you don't have to do anything to them. What I did was and I've showed you this on my, if you go to my Mary's Making Chile Rellenos, you'll see that I put them on the stove, open flame, and then I sweat them in a bag, and after that I rinse them in cold water, and I take the seeds out and I just rinse them out. And then I have these beautiful Anaheim fresh roasted peppers. I mean, who wouldn't want fresh roasted peppers? I mean, it's okay. If you want to get the canned kind, go for it. But there's something about a fresh roasted pepper, and if you can get them on sale, that's even better. So I got like a half probably like I only paid $2 for these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, like 7 peppers in a bag for $1. I mean, and you know you can't go wrong with that. So to me it's worth all the work, the little work. So I'm going to put this aside right now, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to stuff them. I'm going to make the masa. I'm going to stuff them with the pepper. I'm going to put it in the masa, and then put some cheese in there, which I have sliced here. Some cheese. We're going to keep it in here, and put a combination of cheese. And I have some turkey picadillo, which I showed you how to do the pork. It's the same process. I had some leftover turkey and I froze it, put it in the freezer, and when I wanted to get ready to use it to make tamales, I just took it out of the freezer, thawed it out, and then put some broth in there, and then just put the chili powders and the seasonings, and voila! You have it, your turkey picadillo. So anyway, so let's get started on this masa. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some of this beautiful organic white masa that I found. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited because I found some white organic masa. Like, that's incredible. So that's about 4. Then I want to do this really quickly so that I can show you. Okay, got that going over here. And then I'm going to put some baking powder in there. About a teaspoon baking powder. And then some baking soda. And cover this up. I'm going to put a little bit more. About a teaspoon. A good teaspoon will do. You don't want to put too much baking soda because then it'll start tasting like baking soda. You don't want that. The same goes with the baking powder. So, and then as that is going, so I've already flavored my my turkey. You don't really have to flavor it if you're taking it right, because it has fat in it. It has fat from the turkey when you roasted it. And so you're not going to need that much fat to put. Isn't that cool? I think that's just incredible. So I'm going to take some juices out of here. Remember the last time I took the juices out of the, I could just kind of skim it because all the fat's on top, which will be nice. I'm making a mess here, but you get the gist. Because I want to put some flavor in that masa, right? Just pour that in there. And you could use any kind of oil. You could use the canola oil. You could use the coconut oil. You could use lard if you'd like. You could use suet. And you know, it's easy to make suet. All you have to do is get the fat of the meat and put it in a processor and just process it, and or put a little bit of just a little bit of liquid, and then mix it up. You have soup. Oh my goodness. And that's how you want it. You want that masa to be flavorful. No joking around with the masa, okay, folks? And I want it to have a little bit more chili in there. And some people, they go to the store and they buy the masa already prepared. I mean, I like my masa with all broth. All meat stock, all broth, no water. Me, I want to flavor my broth. I don't want to, you know, make it all bouillon. And that's going to be a beautiful masa. And it's really flavorful. Go ahead and bring that up a little bit more. I'm going to lower it because I'm going to put the oil in there. And the oil's not so hot. Not hot at all. Very careful. See, it's not hot. I can stick my finger. How do I know that? Well, because I turned off the heat and then I just wanted the rest to melt, which is going to cool off the oil, the rest of the shortening to melt, which is fine. And you know what? And if you want to use butter, you can put butter in the masa. Well, however you want to make it. I usually put butter in the masa when I'm doing my pumpkin jalapeno cheese tamales. Those are good. Yeah. Pumpkin jalapeno cheese. Yes, I said pumpkin, honey. There you go. Alrighty. And that is going in there I wouldn't waste this. I would not waste this. I'd put it right back because that's very expensive. This little thing is real pricey. But I mean it just has a different, the organic, it's different. And it's not so bright and white, and you can tell it's not processed. Ching ching, my dear friends. Oh, that's pretty good. This is going to pair up really well with the Anaheim pepper tamales. Very well. And you know what? I don't mind if they have a piece of cheese. That's coming out really well. And it's a little bit, I kind of check that consistency on that. It's a little bit too mushy. So I'm going to put just a little bit more of that flour. Just to firm it up just a little bit. And I might want to put a little bit more in there. I'm going to see if I can see that shine in the masa. And I'm going to put a little bit more of the I'm kind of winging it because I want it not too soft, but soft enough to, spread the masa on there. Put a little bit more of that juice. Gotta make the mixer happy. So there you go. So you kind of getting this? So I wanted to show you had to make it really quick again, but on a smaller scale. You know what? I'm going to put just a little bit more in there because I want that. Actually, I'm going to put the whole thing. So I want that shine in there. So I use probably 24 ounces, a good 12 ounces of that, half of this, which is 12 ounces, and so I'm gonna have to figure out how to get this in a bigger size, and it's USDA organic, which is great. Oh yeah. I'm going to put a little bit more masa in there. And then I'm going to put more masa. And I'm going to put a little bit more water. That way it balances out. And you'll see in a minute what I'm trying to show you on how to get that consistency, that pliable consistency is really, really important. Okay, this is done. This is perfect. And how I learned how to do this, my mother would teach me when it begins to, you know, the side of the masa inside the bowl, when it starts gathering and it starts pulling away from the sides, it's done. It's very well mixed. So you kind of play with it until you get that. You don't have to ice the masa. You don't have to do any of that. I never do. This is strictly, I know they have machines that make tamales, but this is strictly for those who just make them periodically and make them at home. They make the best gifts, I'll tell you. Okay, they got that together. All right, so I'm gonna grab this, put that over here, and what I want to do, take this off here, this here, and get my husks. These have been rinsed and washed thoroughly. I want to get a good size. Now that's a perfect size right there. And so what I'm going to do, take a little spatula. And then I'm just going to, oh, that's, see how pliable that is? It's so pliable. It's beautiful. It's a perfect masa. Look at how pliable that is. It's like, oh, so spreadable that even the spatula we're used to using the spoon. Oh, I'm not tipsy, so don't even try to go there with me. Anyways, I should be. Anyways, so we're gonna put this incredibly beautiful, and before I get, see how beautiful that is? I'm going to take some of this turkey, put it in a bowl, right? Okay, I'm going to take some of this turkey, put it in the bowl, get a fork, just any old fork, and then I'm going to take a piece of that turkey. Yum. Right? It's like a meal in one. Piece of turkey. Put some cheese in there. Right? And if you want, you can put olive in there, but I'm going to wait to do my olives with my other tamales. And then I'm just going to fold these. And then you have it. Isn't that beautiful? And then I have my little stem sticking out. And then what I'm going to do is take a piece of paper, which is highly recommended. And because I did so many tamales, I never really did this. But now I've decided I'm going to do this for myself. And then I'm going to take my paper, fold it like so, and then wrap it. And that's how I'm going to be putting my tamales in the pot this year. So I'll see you in a little bit, or I'll see you another time where I'm going to show you how to make my other tamales. And these are going to make some beautiful Christmas tamales. And happy tamale making. It'll be fun, I promise. We'll see you.